So how did you meet Aunt Naomi then?
Huh?
How and when did you meet Aunt Naomi? Where was she living, or were you living at the time?
She was living here. She
In
lived
Wasco.
out west of town, about 10 miles out. Well, not quite 10 miles out. It's just this side of Summer Tropic School. They
Okay.
live back up in, there's a big eucalyptus grove. And they had houses in there, and her dad worked on that farm, and they furnished a house. So they lived out there. Also, Mildred Allen lived out there, which was Mildred Smith.
Yes.
So we went, Nona invited me to go to a youth banquet one time. They had it in the old Elks Lodge or something downtown. And so it's church banquet, young people. So I went with her. I didn't want to because I didn't know anybody. But I went, she finally talked me into it. I went down there. And that night when we had long tables and was sitting there, and they gave the food out, and was sitting there eating, and I was eating, and I was trying to cut a piece of meat, and my fork slipped, fork or knife, something. I just scooped green peas all over the floor. I was so embarrassed, I was ready to leave right then. But stayed on. But that's where I met her, in church banquet.
Okay.
Well, I didn't really meet her, I just, come in contact with her.
Okay.
And then later on, they was having church revival. And all of the young girls, Naomi's age and younger, well, Charlie's home. They remembered me from, some of them remembered me from, I went a few times before I went into service, but not very much. So they was all anxious to see who Charlie was, so they found out. So anyway, well, I started on, they was having a revival, and they had this guy, the preacher. It was a family affair. His man and wife and daughter, and the daughter sang and played the accordion. They was real good at singing. All three of them sang together and everything. And then they had two little girls, and they sang the little kids song. It was kind of neat. But this evangelist daughter, she was about my age. And I don't know, some way or other, I got connected up with her. They was here about 3 weeks, and I went with her every night.
Oh, jeez.
And then when they left, why, Naomi was my next choice.
Okay.
So
All right. When did everyone start going to the Nazarene church? Were you always Nazarenes?
yeah,
Including
see,
Grandma and
we went to
Grandpa?
Nazarene Church in Oklahoma.
Okay. And how did you know, and when did you all start singing? How did you know you all could sing? What did you do?
We always sing. Elmer sang in quartet when he was in high school.
Really?
They had a quartet. There was a family there in town. They had a boy, and he was a mail carrier, and they were able to, they had a pretty nice car, and they got Elmer and this boy and a couple of girls together, and they had a pretty nice quartet.
Really?
Did any of that ever get recorded anywhere? They probably had wire recorders at the time,
Yeah, we didn't have anything like
but
that.
okay.
Yeah, we wasn't able to have.
Any photographs, pictures, or anything?
No, nothing.
That's what he said.
That's too bad.
We never took pictures, never did have a camera.
Oh, yeah.
So Daddy went to high school?
Yeah, he went to the, he was a freshman or sophomore.
That's as far as he went?
He was either 10th or 11th grade. He went higher and farther than I did.
Really?
Yeah.
And how far did you go?
I started in the 9th grade, first semester, and quit. Well, see,
Okay.
Daddy got sick. And when he got sick, well, I just dropped out of school and just went to work.
Did Uncle Edgar, Uncle Eddie, any of them sing other than you two? Because I only remember you two singing.
Yeah.
No, I don't guess Edgar and Eddie didn't, or Houston. They could sing, but they never did sing, special or anything.
So did all you kids go to high school?
I really don't know what about the older boys. See, they were gone from home when I came along. I'm 20 years younger than Edgar.
20.
That
Exactly
much?
20 years.
Wow.
Ooh.
Well, that's the way it used to be.
Yes,
Uh,
it
Look,
was.
look,
Yeah.
look at my grandparents.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So did you and Daddy get along good together?
We fought just like anybody else, but we did get along. He would take me with him, even on his dates.
Oh, really?
We rode horseback, and I'd be on my horse, and I'd just go on, ride on. And if we was going to school programs or anything like that at night, or going to church, was always somebody, riding or walking along the road. So I just get with another group. And, well, I remember when Posey and Elmer started going together. Avis and I would walk together sometimes.
Oh, really?
Just we'd get all the way from them.
And this is all in Stonewall.
Well, it was it wasn't in Stonewall. It was about 8 or 10 miles from Stonewall.
Okay.
We lived at what they call Eubanks. That's where I went to start school, Eubanks School.
Okay.
And where Posey, if they lived there when she went to grade school, she went to Lone Oak School.
Okay. And what was I going to say?
Are any of those schools still there, or do you know?
Yeah.
No, they're all gone.
Okay.
The school, Eubanks School, they quit having school and moved it into town, or moved the kids into town, and left the schoolhouse there, and then they decided they'd tear it down. And they come out there to tear it down, and the gentleman from the country brought their shotguns out there and told them, "You're not taking this. This is our school, and you're not taking it. Not going to tear it down." So they kept it for quite a while. In fact, it burnt down and it was rebuilt. And but they finally got the best of them. Well, people began to leave so much until so many people left until they just finally gave up. Finally wound up as a little park, I think. That's where the school was. It had a well. Restrooms was down about 100 yards down the hill from school. And the water, we had a well, they had one of these long buckets that you draw water with. It had a trigger in it with a stopper in the bottom. Pull that trigger and it'd let the water out the bottom. And we would draw the water, and everybody would have their own cup, and would get let somebody trigger it for you, and you get your water. But then when they'd have stuff at nights there at the school, and nobody had their cups or anything, and so the men would take their knife and punch that well casing was kind of thin, bucket. And they'd keep punching that until they'd punch a hole in it. Then, of course, you draw it up, and you could just sit there and drink as it poured out. The trouble with it was, finally, after it gets many holes in it, you wouldn't have any water up till you got up to the top.
So did your house that your grandma and grandpa live in and you guys live in have toilets in the house or outdoor toilets?
Are you kidding?
Outdoor toilets, right?
Listen, I never went to a toilet, but one time in my life, I was in the house until I came to California.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
We went to Oklahoma to my Uncle John's, Mama's half-brothers. And they lived in town, and they had this thing in there that you go in there and sit on and pull the throttle, and it just, just flush everything away and go over there and turn water on and wash your hands. And I never seen such a thing. I was about probably 4 or 5 years old. And now that's the last time I did went to a restroom until we came out here in 41 on a visit.
Okay, and I am
At
assuming that
town-
you had gas stoves and, wooden stoves and all
Wood
that kind of
stove.
stuff.
We heated with wood, we cooked with wood. Mama ironed with wood, flat iron, put it on the stove, heat it. She had about 3 irons. And she'd put all 3 of them on the stove, and when the first one got hot, she'd iron it until it began to cool off, and she'd put it back on and grab another one. And the 3, she'd just rotate the 3.
Okay,
And now she washed on a rub board for 4 of us. But before that, see, it was Edgar, Eddie, Lottie, Jewel, Houston, and then her sister died, and they took 3 or 4 of their kids. You remember Cecil and Floyd?
yeah, I remember the
Okay.
names, yeah.
The older kids, Cecil Floyd didn't stay with them, I don't think, but I think the older kids, 2 or 3 of them stayed with them for a long time. And then Grandpa Carr outlived 3 women. So he had children with all 3 women. And so when he married the second woman, the second woman was Uncle Perry and Uncle John, Willie's mother. And then the third one was, I didn't know any of the kids. They were born in Texas, and so I never did get to see any of them. The third wife he had. I take that back. Aunt Bessie. Remember Aunt Bessie?
I remember the
On
name.
Buster? That was Mama's half-sister. But the last wife that Grandpa Carr had.